Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is November 26, 2023, and we are in the Old Testament book of 2 Kings, and we're going to read chapter 24, verse 18 to 25, 21. And I think I left out 17 yesterday, so we'll pick it up there. So 2 Kings, chapter 24, verse 17 to 25, verse 21. So we're moving into the last king of Judah, Zedekiah. Doesn't reign very long, and he's taken off by Nebuchadnezzar to Babylon. Exactly the way God said, led away everything that is in Judah, everything that is in the temple, taken away by Nebuchadnezzar to Babylon. And the fall of Judah and the fall of all of Israel is now complete. So our salvation isn't going to be found in an earthly kingdom. If it was, well, we started with David, and it just got worse and worse after that. And the problem wasn't God. The problem was our sinful nature. We might do a little bit to go back to God, but then someone's going to come along after us, and they're going to do a little worse than we did, and a little worse, and a little worse. And then maybe someone might do something, start leaning towards the good, but then they're going to be followed by someone who does worse and does worse. And our own sinful nature is going to get out of the way, because when we want to do good, as we all try to do, we always fall short. So the answer is not in an earthly king. The answer is going to come from spiritual king, from Jesus, who's both divine and human. And that's what we should be getting out of this Old Testament, that the answer isn't going to come from us, because once we've brought sin into our lives and brought sin into the world, we embrace the sin. And if God hates sin, we're in trouble, because we can't let it go. We need a Savior to come. That's what the Old Testament is showing us. So let's go ahead, and we're going to read 2 Kings chapter 24, and we're going to go from 17 to 25, 21. Then the king of Babylon made Mattaniah, Joachim's uncle, king in his place, and changed his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Humatel, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Joachim had done. For because of the anger of the Lord, this happened in Jerusalem and Judah, that he finally cast them out from his presence. Then Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Now it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army came against Jerusalem and encamped against it. And they built a siege wall against it all around. So the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. By the 9th day of the 4th month of the famine had become so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city wall was broken through, and all the men of war fled at night by way of the gate between two walls, which was by the king's garden, even though the Chaldeans were still encamped all around against the city. And the king went by way of the plain. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king, and they overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his army was scattered from him, so they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah, and they pronounced judgment on him. Then they killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, put out the eyes of Zedekiah, bound him with bronze fetters, and took him to Babylon. And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar's king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He burned the house of the Lord and the king's house, all the houses of Jerusalem, that is, all the houses of the great, he burned with fire. And all the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem all around. The Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive the rest of the people who remained in the city, and the defectors who had deserted to the king of Babylon with the rest of the multitude. But the captain of the guard left some of the poor of the land as vine dressers and farmers. The bronze pillars that were in the house of the Lord, and the carts and the bronze sea that were in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans broke in pieces and carried their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the trimmers, the spoons, and all the bronze utensils which the priests ministered. The fire pans and the basins, the things of solid gold and solid silver, the captain of the guard took away. The 2 pillars, 1 sea, and the carts which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. The height of 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and the capital on it was of bronze. The height of the capital was 3 cubits, and the network and pomegranates all around the capital were all of bronze. The 2nd pillar was the same with the network. And the captain of the guard took Serahiah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 doorkeepers. He also took out of the city an officer who had charge of men of war, 5 men of the king's close associates who were found in the city, the chief recruiting officer of the army who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the city. So Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. Then the king of Babylon struck them and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. Thus Judah was carried away captive from its own land. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.